With quality titles like these being released consistently, pretty soon we won't even need to go to the theater. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Netflix original movies. Before we begin, we've got something big in the works, so be sure to tune in to WatchMojo Live on May 31st for special musical performances and much more. For this list, we're taking a look at the best films that were financed, produced, and/or distributed by Netflix as part of their slate of original programming.
Managed to book you a slot at the biggest rave in America.
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Number 10. Peewee's Big Holiday.
Peewee! Hi, kids!
After a long hiatus, our beloved Pee-wee Herman is back, and it's like he never left.
I think I know why you and I met. You're gonna leave Fairville.
In this film, he leaves his safe, secure, comfortable home in Fairville, which is a big step for Pee-wee, to travel across America to attend his new friend's birthday party. Along the way, there are tons of encounters that halt his progress, as is to be expected. Between interacting with robbers and a caveman, a crazy farmer and the Amish, the gags and the quirkiness of the premise never let up.
Look at the time. I have to be going.
Though it's primarily aimed at kids, we guess, adults can appreciate the film as well. Just let the absurdity take you for a ride.
You got a choice to make. Stick around here. I live a little.
Number 9. Burning Sands.
We come from kings and queens, man, not slaves.
Most fraternity movies show the fun side of college life, but the Netflix original Burning Sands goes in a different direction by offering a raw take on what it takes to survive initiation. The brutal physical hazing is just the beginning. The humiliation and mental abuse viewers witness is just as tough to stomach.
Turn around!
We watch as a group of pledges is tested, day in, day out, and we keep wondering when they'll reach their breaking point.
Yo, if we make it through Hell Night, that'll be us out there, you know.
With a very clear stance on the issue, the film illustrates how the Brotherhood's bond strengthens with each test, but vigorously questions the morality of the whole process every step of the way.
Let me tell you something about getting into this fraternity. You got him, want it.
Number 8. The Fundamentals of Caring.
You must be Mr. Benjamin. Elsa Conklin.
Hi.
Break out the tissues, folks. Paul Rudd stars as Ben, a newly certified caregiver, and his first client, Trevor, is a handful, to say the least.
Could you call the Make-A-Wish Foundation and tell them I want a blowjob from Katy Perry?
You see, Trevor has Duchenne muscular dystrophy, which confines him to a wheelchair. But while that situation may seem kind of grim, the banter between him and Ben is hilarious.
Did you arrange these to look like large testicles and a small penis? Yep.
The pair goes on a road trip, picking up hitchhikers along the way, and checking things off Trevor's to-do list. Brought to you by Rob Burnett, executive producer of Late Show with David Letterman. The Fundamentals of Caring has the perfect blend of drama, comedy, and tragedy, with a dash of hope at the end for good measure. Number 7. Spectral.
3 days ago, we conducted a raid in Mid-City.
Sometimes you don't want to have to think too much when watching a movie. You just want to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. If you're scrolling through Netflix, there are few movies more appropriate for that mood than Spectral.
Here they come!
With fantastic special effects, great action sequences, and charismatic actors, there's never a dull moment. Military forces are at war with an unknown and seemingly supernatural anomaly, and the mystery of its origin is enough to keep your interest. But there's more. The battle sequences also keep your eyes glued to the screen, making this military sci-fi film a classic popcorn action flick.
There's no limit to how far they can spread, unless we stop them.
Number 6. Barry.
Barry? Barry, my brother!
Regardless of your political leanings, you'd have trouble denying that President Barack Obama led an interesting life leading up to his presidency. The biopic Barry only shows us a snippet of that by giving us a glimpse of his college years, before he became the self-assured man who would be president.
Every time I open my mouth in class, it's like I'm supposed to speak on behalf of all black people.
He questions his place in the world throughout the film and is a keen observer on how race can distinguish others, while also paying attention to the struggles people endure. While it does not touch on his future presidency, Barry still offers a compelling look into the complex mind of Barack Obama.
Well, I don't see you IDing them. So what's so special about me?
Number 5, Imperial Dreams.
The hood is the cruelest of prisons, the most unusual of punishments. You're born into it.
No, this isn't a documentary about John Boyega being cast in The Force Awakens. Imperial Dreams actually sees Boyega play Bambi, a fresh-out-of-jail gangster who's looking to reform his life and take care of his son. But of course, that's easier said than done.
Go to sleep, okay?
Okay.
This genuine and gripping Netflix original lets us see how hard it is to adapt to the world after prison, while also showing us the struggles and perils of living in the projects. Dark, affecting, and anchored by Boyega's stellar performance, Bambi's story shines a light on the cyclical nature of criminality.
I'm running out of options out here.
Number 4, Tallulah.
People suck. They'll disappoint you every time.
With a spectacular Ellen Page performance as the titular Tallulah, or Lou for short, this dark comedy follows a young woman who kidnaps a baby after seeing how neglectful its mother is. What comes next is a roller coaster of emotions. Tallulah begins to care for someone other than herself, and although the hole she digs for herself gets deeper and deeper, she never loses sight of the fact that she thinks she did the right thing.
I think it's better to not be needed.
She needs you.
Even though it's a relatively serious situation, and the film has a way of making us question some of our own life choices, Tallulah still features plenty of light-hearted moments that make this Netflix release a worthwhile watch.
Sir, you want some. You need it. Hydration is important. Looking at your skin, you need it.
Number 3, Hush. It's hard to come up with something original these days, especially when it comes to the horror thriller genre. But Hush did it. How? By featuring a protagonist who's completely deaf and mute. That protagonist is Maddie, and she's being hunted at her remote home by a psycho killer. Doesn't sound like it should last more than a few minutes, especially since it's mostly silent. But Hush is engaging and grittily realistic, thankfully avoiding the horror tropes we're all so sick of by now, but throwing in enough blood and guts to keep fans satisfied. Maddie uses her creativity as a writer to try and survive this cat and mouse fight, and it makes for one tense viewing experience.
I can't run, I can't hide, and we can't wait. You go outside, you are dead.
Number 2, I don't feel at home in this world anymore.
Why are you here?
My house got robbed.
Don't let its long title deter you. This comedy crime thriller is dark, wild, and touching in all the right ways. The premise is straightforward enough. A woman finds her home burglarized, and since the police are no help, she decides to find the thieves herself. But where it goes from there is unexpected to say the least.
Put the tiger down!
With realistic, albeit oddball characters at its core, its absurd chain of events keeps you shaking your head. And we mean that in a good way. With tons of thrills to be had and captivating chemistry between leads Melanie Lynskey and Elijah Wood, this Netflix release can accurately be described as eccentric.
Sometimes I feel like I'm underneath a whirlpool and like I can't even breathe.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
What do you want?
Speak when spoken to.
My name is Tommy, also known as the Fist. A lot of people say I'm the bad boy of sports mascottery.
We board the train half a mile from our house. We have 20 minutes before we hit the yard. 10 minutes to open the container, 5 to pick boxes, and 3 to push the boxes off.
Number 1, Beasts of No Nation.
We are just like wild animals now, with no place to be going.
Chronicling the life of a child conscripted into a rebel army in an unnamed African country, Beasts of No Nation documents the trauma he witnesses and inevitably inflicts. And writer-director Cary Fukunaga has given us something genuinely amazing. Visually stimulating with immersive camera work and tight editing, the film brings you right into this third world locale, making it difficult to both look at and look away from the horrors that occur.
All of you that have never been listened to before and have seen your family killed, you now have something that stands for you.
Between the SAG Award-winning Idris Elba performance as a dangerous warlord and the powerful message about the true cost of warfare, Netflix picked a winner when they chose to nab the worldwide distribution rights.
Who wants to fight? Aha! I'm only taking the brave!
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.